Hi, my name is Michaela, and I'm going to be talking about the bacteria in a dog's mouth. So what kind of bacteria are common in a dog's mouth? Well, here are a few examples. There are probably many more, but these are just some of the bigger ones that I was able to find. One of the ones that I feel like most people should recognize is E. coli, and there's Staphylococcus aureus. I mean, these bacteria, they're found in a dog's mouth, like just in the dog's microbiota in general. And a lot of these are also found in humans' microbiota as well. They're just fairly common. You need them to survive. And a lot of these bacteria, as you probably know, are opportunistic pathogens, so they're harmless unless there's an imbalance in your microbiota. And so, like, if you have E. coli come in somehow, like you eat it or you're exposed to outside E. coli, you will probably be infected because there's an imbalance. There's more E. coli than your body is used to, and it's not exactly the same as what's inside of you. So you can become infected from that. And so that's just another example of how this can cause bacterial diseases in a dog or even in human. But a few common ways for dogs to, be infected by one of these bacteria, like they could be sniffing another dog's butt or, eat poop or something like that, and then they can be infected with E. coli. If their teeth aren't cleaned frequently enough, they can get gingivitis. I mean, if they don't get vaccinated, they can get rabies. There's gastroenteritis. That's a common one for dogs to get based on, like, they eat something that has some other bacteria in it that isn't good for them. So there are quite a few other infections that dogs can get, and a lot of the infections that dogs can get from these bacteria, humans can also get. Humans can contract these diseases from dogs by maybe your dog gives you a kiss, your dog bites you, you get scratched. I mean, just even if they have it on them somehow, like if you're petting them, they have some fecal matter on them somewhere, and you can contract any kind of disease from them that way as well. One that's pretty common from Staphylococcus aureus is MRSA. You can get that, and then there's Pasteurella, which gives soft tissue infections, meningitis, stuff like that. And then Capnocytophaga leads to gangrene, sepsis, endocarditis. And then Rhabdoviridae is the bacteria that causes rabies, and humans and dogs can contract those as well. So some pretty common treatments for dogs for infections that are caused by any bacteria that might be in their mouth or anywhere else in them as well. They can be treated with cephalexin, which it treats bacterial infections in deep skin infections, or even respiratory tract infections, urinary tract infections, other soft tissues of the body. Because it is a broad spectrum drug, it's a very popular treatment because it can target a wide variety of things, and it can really get quite a bit treated with one pill. And then there's also metronidazole, which treats kind of infections of the GI tract, so like giardia, diarrhea, periodontal diseases, oral infections. And then there's also amoxicillin, which is a pretty common treatment for many species, but it'll treat, ear, urine infections, bladder, teeth, skin, like any kind of infections you have anywhere in those areas. It can be treated by amoxicillin, which is because it's another broad spectrum drug. A treatment for a dog bite, or even just like any infection that you get from a dog, can also be treated in humans with some very similar drugs. You can definitely be treated by amoxicillin or any other penicillins, doxycycline and streptomycin, rifampin, Just a few other examples are vancomycin and daptomycin. Just a lot of these typical antibiotics that we are prescribed pretty frequently anyways, they can also treat dog bites. To prevent infection from these bacteria from your dog, keep their mouths clean, give them things to chew on to kind of scrape off the plaque, brush their teeth yourself, take them to your vet and have them regularly clean their teeth professionally, because that'll be a way deeper clean. They'll stay a lot healthier. Then you also need to watch out for infections, because if your dog is infected by one of these bacteria in their mouth, you're way more likely to get an infection from those bacteria as well, especially if your dog is an inside dog. They hang out with you, sleep on your bed, lay on your couch. You're way more likely to get an infection from them. So you got to keep an eye out for infections, keep them treated, keep them healthy. Also keep them vaccinated, because vaccinations against rabies, that'll help prevent them from getting the rabies, and then that keeps you from getting it, keeps other people from getting it if your dog will bite other people. So it's just a good idea to keep your dog's health up to speed, make sure that they're healthy and well taken care of. And then another thing you can do to avoid the infection is just to avoid situations where you could get bitten by a dog. Like if you're walking and you see a dog on the side of the road, don't just go up and start trying to pet it. Or your friend has a dog and they're acting kind of funny, just kind of keep your distance, don't turn your back to them. Don't put yourself out there and make yourself vulnerable to getting a dog bite. Just try to be smart, be careful. And then also, whenever you do get bit by a dog, to help prevent infection or, keep it from getting really bad, get your dog bites checked out as soon as they happen. Like, you go wash your hands, disinfect the area, and then go to the doctor, get it checked out. And that's all I have. Here are my references.